People that have rights and journalists, welcome to a brand new video making fun of morons. That's right. We make fun of morons on this channel and it's glorious. It's great. Do they hate me for it? Perhaps. What are they gonna do? Moron around in the comment section? We've seen enough of that. Anywho, there has been quite the interesting development lately. There's been a brand new meltdown. Trump just ended the career of like an entire panel of like dumb and I'll be honest, while I'm not gonna sit here and make believe that the orange man is always right, I am gonna say that the dumb are always wrong. So this is the funny thing that just happened on the Piers Morgan Uncensored. All right, so on Piers Morgan, he just had like a whole panel of leftist dudes basically having collective meltdowns over the elections. Now, the funny thing is, not only are we still having meltdowns happening 2 weeks after the elections of people that aren't willing to live in reality, but they got the famous guy that always predicts the elections correctly. He's predicted every election correctly ever, except for this last one, where he was proven completely and utterly wrong. This man's career is over. All right, he was known as the election predictor, and not only did he have a glorious meltdown on election night, which of course I appreciate immensely, however, he just got obliterated, like obliterated, live. So, we're looking into more meltdowns. Trump ended these guys' careers, like they're cooked, like you can never like take them seriously again. And let's see what it's all about.
I think Kamala ran basically the platonic ideal of a non-woke Democratic campaign.
What's the future of the Democrats? Who would you like to see run the...
Didn't she call herself a black woman? Like a lot? Isn't that like a relatively woke move? Did you hear Ellen DeGeneres moved to the UK? Wait, Ellen DeGeneres moved to the UK because Trump became president? All right, I guess one good thing happened that since Trump became president. Let's go.
Party now.
Jon Stewart. Honestly, a controversial, charismatic celebrity might make all of the difference.
Possibly the loss would have been worse if Taylor Swift and folks like Oprah weren't working with Kamala Harris.
These people are all fucking crazy. It's like, oh, Taylor Swift ruined the elections by supporting Kamala Harris.
Although Taylor Swift is popular, obviously she's not
Ellen moved because of the Diddy parties? Yeah, that's more likely.
that popular because she did not move the needle.
Alan,
Because no one gives a shit about celebrity opinions anymore.
you deserve a tall glass of shut-up juice.
Oh shit, a tall glass of shut up juice. Oh lord.
You live in a total world of denial.
Dude, I love this so much. I love the meltdowns. Everyone's living in a world of denial. None of these people know what they're talking about. Every single person on this panel predicted a massive fucking blue wave. A blueberry pie.
I read your own followers' comments, and they
No.
all trashed you.
I read your comment section, fraud. No. This is the guy that predicts the election correctly every single time except for this time, right? Like, this is the time that he got just completely and utterly destroyed.
I mean, brother, I said what was going to go wrong. It did go wrong. I was right.
It's lovely to see a post-election harmony.
Dude, this fucking guy, Piers Morgan, literally gathered together a bunch of leftists to watch them at each other's throats the entire time. Like, this man knows exactly what he's doing. It's hilarious to me that he's supposedly a centrist, supposedly, and he's like, holy shit.
Should not be taking cheap shots at me, and I won't stand for it.
I mean, I won't stand for it. I'll take cheap shots at you.
Alan,
Oh,
The
God.
inquest into the shock death of the Democratic Party has so far proved inconclusive. Like the only clear message of a...
God, I love it so much. Every time they ask the Democratic Party, like, what's going on, every single person gives you a different answer. It's like, oh, it turns out 51% of America just hates women. And it's like, whoa, wait. That's your conclusion? Yep, that's the conclusion.
from the ruminations, as with the campaign itself, is that the orange man is still bad. Just about nobody else.
No one's changed their opinion. Every single person that thought Orange Man bad before the election thinks Orange Man bad is now. The only argument is why Orange Man won. Is it because the Kamala campaign was awful? Or was it simply because people just hate women more than they hate Trump?
Left can agree on why the orange man therefore won by a landslide and what should happen next. Here's just a snapshot of views from the masterminds who were wrong about, well, almost everything.
Oh, I love masterminds that are wrong about everything. Dude, for me, smug people just absolutely losing their shit is so fun.
It is time for the Democrats to say, okay, and you and I have talked about this before, a lot of Hispanic voters have problems with black candidates.
No! No! This is MSNBC. It's like, yes, it's the Hispanics that are racist. Yeah, it's totally not racist to call a race of people racist. You really think Trump won the election because Latinos hate black people? Like, that's gotta be the biggest fucking shit I've ever heard in my life. Dude, you see, this is what I'm here for. All right, I know you all think this is slop, and I don't have a passion for the craft, but I do have a passion for the craft. Okay, I love my job. Like, where else would I get to hear this? Yeah, this is some trustworthy news.
Right.
Right, the guy says right. Oh my God, they're not living in reality.
And with other Hispanics, you got some that don't like each other.
The working
You got Hispanics that don't like each other. Oh my God.
class of this country is angry, and they have a reason to be angry.
True. Inflation is shit.
Respect him saying that the Democratic Party has abandoned the working class families. That's where we are.
Oh my God. Every single one is literally at war with each other.
Elon Musk is
Hey, this is the guy. This is the loser that predicted the election completely incorrectly and makes believe he has some sort of 100% proper way to predict it. I wonder what his excuse is for predicting it wrongly.
how many hundreds of billions he has. He has been the director of misinformation.
And this idea that, like, oh no, the economy is actually good or crime is actually down, or this is all just Fox News. Like, shut the fuck up with that. Like, talk to some people who live near you.
I mean, this really
What is that guy talking about? Food is just more expensive.
was an historic, flawlessly run campaign. She had Queen Latifah never.
They're all crazy. Like, they're literally all delusional. I don't understand. I am not some super politically literate dude, all right? However, a moron, by the way, recognize that it was probably the worst political campaign I've ever seen in my lifetime. The Kamala campaign was flawless, that they spent over $1 billion on a campaign that is still currently left her in debt of like $30 million in debt, and she lost, and she didn't go on any podcasts, but oh, don't worry, she released a Fortnite map without guns. Like, flawless? It was a flawless failure.
Ever endorses anyone. She came out and endorsed.
I got bad.
They all laughed at her because it's so insane. Like, bro, it's wild. It's like, these people, their opinions are literally decided in uterus. And then they have to come up with justifications for it.
News for you. They don't have a monopoly on stupid.
Yeah.
You wear Queers for Palestine t-shirts and masks 2 years after the pandemic ended.
Yeah, we covered this.
And you can't define woman, I mean person who menstruates.
Yeah, but the funny thing is, they didn't, Piers Morgan here didn't show the clip of Bill Maher earlier saying that Trump has no chance to win because he only has a couple of, like 100,000 fringe fans in the country.
Exactly. Whatever the prescription should ultimately be, the diagnosis is surely crystal clear. Trump has made commanding inroads with working class voters, black voters, Latino voters, urban voters, and young voters. It's a veritable rainbow coalition of disaffected people who the Democrats have traditionally relied upon and more recently taken for granted. So what drove them away? Was it government-funded operations
That's
to
the
transgender
question.
illegal aliens?
What caused the failure of the left? It's crazy. I mean, the funny thing is, every time you hear people, whenever you hear people on the left talking about Trump, it's like, Trump is the worst candidate ever. He's just horrible. He's just evil. He's just terrible. It's like, the clown that you are describing is who beat you. Like, that has got to hurt, no? Like, he's not just a clown, he's an entire circus. And then he wins in a landslide. It's like, what does that say about you, brother?
Was it prioritizing SNL and 60 Minutes over Joe Rogan and Theo Von? Was it the warm embrace of Liz Cheney and a hawkish, even conservative stance on the wars in Israel and Ukraine? Was it gaslighting America into believing Joe Biden was so sharp he could slice concrete and then ousting him for a simply dreadful candidate in Kamala Harris? Maybe it was all of the above.
Joe Biden, he was so sharp. He's so sharp. I'm telling you, he's still sharp. They don't know. I don't know. I like the Joe Biden voted for Trump theory.
With the customary liberal serving of supreme self-confidence and the firm belief that everyone who disagrees with them is a moron or a bigot. But joining me for an uncensored battle for the heart and soul of the Democratic Party, the host and founder of the Young Turks, Cenk Uygur, presidential historian and pollster Professor Alan Lichtman.
Presidential historian. Oh, and he was wrong. He literally has one job every 4 years, and he was wrong.
Democrat influencer.
Oh, I don't know. I've seen a couple clips of this fucking sissy.
Harry Sissom.
Oh, that's his actual name. Holy shit.
Author of New Prize for These Eyes, a senior political analyst at Fox News. Juan Williams. Well, welcome to all of you. One in particular, a long time since I've spoken to you. Great to have you, I think, making your debut on Uncensored, so thank you very much. This is Blue on Blue, chaps, so you can rip into each other to your heart's content, and hopefully out of it, we may get some form of consensus.
Dude, I love how it's like, he gets a bunch of right-wing guys on, and they're all, like, relatively friendly with each other, and then he gets a bunch of left-wing guys on, and they all, like, fucking pull out their Jedi lightsabers, and they're ready to fucking rule of two this bitch. Like, it's actually insane. It's actually completely wild to see this. Like, guys, fight for unity! Like, you gotta fight to become a party that people want to respect.
Over certain ways that the Democrats could go. One, let me start with you. When you look at the election and you look at the thumping win Trump got and who he won it with, do you think this whole campaign by the Democrats to portray him as racist, sexist, transphobic, Islamophobic, a Nazi, blah, 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 did they just over-egg the devilment souffle and just in the end play into his hands?
Well, I think they thought, based on the numbers, that this was going to be an effective form of attack, and I think...
Based on what numbers? Their numbers were fabricated, brother. Oh, no. Based on the numbers, every time we called him Hitler, it worked. It worked so well in 2016, didn't it?
It was for the base of the party, but I think that there were a lot of people who were attracted to other parts of Trump. And I think the whole...
Other parts! It's like everyone, they knew he was a Nazi. They all knew he was a racist, Nazi, rapist guy. They all knew that. But there were other parts about him that we really liked. For example, his orange complexion, perhaps.
Macho man thing, it worked. You know, you were talking about...
It was his macho man thing. People looked away from the obvious Nazism and sexism because of his macho man thing. This is the level of analysis that we all needed.
A rainbow coalition? No, it wasn't a rainbow coalition, but I think that you saw...
Because rainbows are gay.
White men still go big for Trump. You saw the Latino men, and I think that's the big story of the election. Latino men suddenly went towards Trump, and there were some black men. I think it was a male thing, and I think, again...
It was a male thing. Dude, like, I don't understand. Am I missing something incredibly obvious here? First of all, the left has been vilifying men for like the last who knows how long. That's one. And two, bro, you know that women are about half the population, right? If he won the popular vote, then obviously women went for him too. Like, I don't understand.
You know, the idea that he said offensive, vulgar things about women, the fact that he is... And, you know, says he wants to be an authoritarian. That's all true.
He says he wants to be an authoritarian? Listen, I've heard a couple of Trump speeches. I don't remember him ever saying he wants to be an authoritarian. I could be wrong.
But I think a lot of the men said, you know what? We like it.
He's macho. We don't mind if he's Hitler. Bro, he said dictator. Yeah, all right. That's close enough, I guess, to authoritarian. But he never said he wants to be a dictator. I think he said it in hyperbole, at least from what I remember. I think what he said implied he wanted to be a dictator, but whatever. Ultimately, this is insane. Insane. This is the worst take I've ever heard.
Yeah, I think that's right. And I mean, Professor...
What is he saying? I think that's right? What? Am I the only one seeing, like, something wrong here? Listen, I am not a political analyst guy, okay? All I did was guess the election correctly and predict everything that was happening right. But aside from that, I am no political analyst. I don't think that Trump won because he's a macho man, so people were looking away from the Hitler.
Correctly forecast result of 9 of the past 10 US presidential elections, but not this one.
Oh.
Like most pollsters, I have to say, very, very few people predicted a big win.
Yeah, anyway, I'm right.
Other than I might, if I may be so modest, I did. I went on Fox News 10 days before with Brian Kilby and said, I think he's going to win big. But actually, most people thought we'd be incredibly tight and it could go either way and so on. But it wasn't that at all. But why do you think Trump is so difficult to poll? Which is clearly the conclusion I would draw from this.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know, I am forthrightly willing to admit I missed this election.
Very forthright of you. You put out a prediction and it was wrong. There's no room for interpretation.
I still think I actually had 10 out of 10 before. I think I was right about 2000, but we're not here to litigate that. I still think it's a pretty good record.
He's still talking about his past dubs. Brother, you got it wrong, homie.
Now, I think two things are operating here. Number one, I was incredibly critical at the time of the spineless, cowardly Democrats openly and viciously trashing their elected president and their elected nominee right out there in the open. I have never seen that before, and I've studied American politics since the founding. And that tainted.
Since the founding, I was there when it was made, when the Declaration was signed.
Any nominee. And they're now taking no responsibility for that. They're blaming everybody else. Until they look in the mirror, the Democratic Party is going to be in trouble.
I don't even think he's, like, I don't even know if he's that wrong, bro. Not gonna lie. I mean, he's kind of spitting.
Secondly, why did my keys miss? Because my keys are based upon the proposition that a pragmatic, rational electorate decides whether or not the White House party is governed well enough to get 4 more years. That was...
No! No, bro. Bro is here 300 years old explaining his keys.
Exploded this time.
Is his excuse because it turns out no one was rational? He's the 200-year-old misogynist that Shoe on Head mentioned? Oh, hell yeah.
A new wave.
By keys, he's referring to his prediction system. I mean, I don't know what his prediction system is. I just know that he got it completely wrong. And it seems like he's blaming it on the irrational people. He's like, you just can't predict irrational people, guys.
Of disinformation that we've never seen before, in addition to the usual sources of disinformation. We had a huge change this time. A 300 billionaire, a guy who's richer than most countries of the world, who controls X, spreading vast disinformation. According to reports, billions upon billions.
He says that the misinformation was from Elon Musk. There's no way. No way. I mean, obviously there's a lot of disinformation that floats around on Twitter, but to say that there's no misinformation in the mainstream media either is insane. I feel like there's disinformation everywhere. Literally everywhere.
Billions of viewers saw his disinformation. People have a completely distorted view of the economy.
What was the disinformation?
Inflation is going up.
Let me pin you down on that, though. You say Elon Musk was spreading disinformation.
Wait, Elon 100% spreads disinfo? Of course, absolutely. Everyone spreads disinformation. I don't think, listen, I think Elon Musk definitely does spread disinformation. I don't have any examples off my fingertips because I'm a fucking idiot. I just think that everyone that just retweets shit on Twitter will retweet and propagate disinformation. That said, the news actively, purposely, maliciously spreads disinformation. I mean, we saw about the polls, which were all completely incorrect. Like, that all predicted Kamala winning. Like, the way I see it, simply put, there's always disinformation.
What?
But I'm really glad that Piers Morgan's asking for what. Because I really hate when people make, like, broad claims like, oh, yeah, he's full of shit. And then it turns out that they have no examples.
Yes, he is spreading vast disinformation that's sunk in.
What?
Even people who think their own financial situation is pretty good think inflation is going up when it's been cut by 75%.
This is insane. How is this Elon Musk's fault if you go to the grocery and food costs more? Like, brother, what are you saying? How that's just like, listen, I'm not saying 75% of taxes of stock markets and shit did well, and the rich people got a little bit richer, which is very nice. Love to hear it. But like, brother, you go to the fucking grocery store and food's more expensive.
Unemployment
but it's still
is
inflation.
a near high when
it's
it's
still inflation,
near
Professor.
a low.
On that point, see, it's interesting. You would say that's disinformation, but
that was not even like, bro. I'm sure you could have come up with some disinformation that he posted. Like, dude, there is no way that's what he harps on for Elon Musk disinformation. All right, Elon Musk lies. All right, I'm sure I could come up with some good shit. All right, so this dude made a video, 6 lies Elon Musk believed in the last 24 hours. Hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about, baby. Let's skip to number 1.
Literally Hitler, Elon says they are literally foaming at the mouth. And the community note is correct here. This is not a real article, it's a Photoshop. But no.
All right, so this, I would argue, is disinformation to some degree, right? It's the idea that someone made a fake article on The Atlantic called Trump is literally Hitler, and he says they are literally foaming at the mouth, which definitely makes it look like the media is calling him Hitler yet again, all right? So, yes, technically, this is disinformation, and he has another 6 examples. I don't know if they're real, if they're not real. I didn't watch this video. Just just as a hypothetical. All right, here's another. Dear party that is so against disinformation that wants to shut down X. Stop lying all the time, you fucking hypocrites, piece of shit.
You want to shut down X. Stop fucking lying all the fucking time, you fucking hypocrite pieces of shit. And I just don't really know what to do with that. So I'm gonna play connections instead.
Sometimes. All right, I don't know. But anyway, the point is, people are gonna retweet shit. People are gonna fall for fake baits and stuff, and there's gonna be misinformation floating around. There's always misinformation floating around. I think that's just a given. And if anyone is on the internet not expecting to be hit with some misinformation, you are in for a doozy of a hard time, bro. You might even think that Kamala really won the election, like Vosh is still making believe. But dude, I don't think that the disinformation that's spreading around on X is the end-all reason why Trump won and why it was unpredictable, in my opinion.
But the point is that inflation is still not zero, therefore prices are still going up.
Man spitting. He's like, bro, your one example of Elon disinformation is actually wrong.
Therefore people...
The only way you get inflation to zero is with a recession.
Yeah, but here's my point.
Obviously.
Here's my point. Yeah, but here's my point. Democrats kept telling the American people rather arrogantly, I thought, you know, the economy's in really good shape.
Yeah, I kept hearing that as well. It's like, bro, you can tell me how good it is, and I'd like to believe you, but fucking chewing gum is more expensive now. I don't want to need to take a mortgage out on my house to buy a bottle of milk in the grocery store.
Meanwhile, inflation still exists. In other words, prices have continued to go up and up and up, albeit not at the same rate they were going up. But if it wasn't zero, and it wasn't, it was like 2.5% or whatever by the end, that is still inflation. So it's not disinformation to say
the only
American
way
deflation.
Zero is a recession, is deflation. That's ridiculous. Inflation has been cut by 80%, but it's not just inflation that people are wrong about.
But do you accept
It's
inflation
every
means prices are
aspect
still
of the
going
economy.
up? Do you accept prices were still going up?
Of course.
Right. So
all right, let's go. So then it's not disinformation. Bro says prices are going up, and he says that's disinformation. Bro!
That's ridiculous.
By Elon Musk,
and
that
it's
isn't
disinformation about every other aspect of the economy as well. Disinformation about undocumented...
Dude, I love how this guy's talking, and you have this dude over here, Chank, he's just shaking his head back and forth. He's like, oh, what a fucking idiot. And then you have this dude over here just nodding the whole time. He's like, yeah. Like, dude, I love it so much. It's so funny to watch these people, like, literally.
That's not disinformation.
That's ridiculous.
Then, is it?
He's like, shakes his head.
By Elon Musk,
and it's disinformation about every other aspect of the economy.
And he's
disinformation about...
I love it so much. And my favorite thing is, like, these people are all on the same side, right? These are all, like, leftists. Oh, my God, dude. Oh, my God.
Undocumented.
I'm waiting for the meltdown. Apparently, this dude has, like, a whole meltdown on this episode. And as you know, I like meltdowns.
Immigrants, like they're bloodthirsty killers. They are the most law-abiding segment of our society. According to numerous studies, including by the Libertarian Cato Institute, they commit crimes, including violent crimes.
Who's he talking about? I missed that.
Undocumented immigrants, like they're bloodthirsty killers. They are the most law-abiding segment of our society. According to numerous studies, including by the Libertarian Cato Institute, they commit crimes, including violent crimes, less than half of that of Native Americans. And they don't drain our economy. They are the mainstay of the agricultural, construction, personal service, hospitality industries. Studies show you will drive the economy into a recession if you go through large-scale deportation of immigrants, and you will sweep huge numbers of U.S. citizens because all the databases used to identify undocumented immigrants are fundamentally flawed. You can't have a pragmatic electorate.
How could they know if they're undocumented? Chat, you people. Oh my God. Listen, I don't know, man. He is saying we need illegals to clean hotel rooms. Oh my God. This is why I don't look at chat when it comes to actual political discourse. Yeah, look, I don't know. Again, politically illiterate. And that's why I'm not here trying to guide people how to vote or how to think. I am a simple man. I enjoy the chaos. I don't give a shit. And we laugh at morons. That's what we do. I don't know the stats, so I'm not going to make believe he's right or wrong because I just don't know. And I wish other people would say the same.
These conditions, and the mainstream media is utterly feeble. It spends 20 times more time on meaningless polls within the margin of error than it does telling truth to power and indicating the consequences of this election.
But it is
it's
okay.
being taken over by billionaires.
Okay, I'm going to come to Cheng. I mean, Cheng, you know, the biggest deporter in American presidential history was Barack Obama, who deported over 3 million people. This idea that Trump is going to become, you know, some outlier in terms of mass deportation. The great mass deporter was actually a Democrat president, Obama, by a long way, by the way. So this idea of like disinformation, I think some of it was disinformation, but it's, you know, the idea that this election was only won through right-wing disinformation, I'm afraid, I view that as a total delusion.
I completely agree. I feel like every single person is having a really good time just missing the fucking point. Like, bro, even if there was disinformation, which obviously there was, but even if that was like a major thing on a greater scale than, you know, on the news and shit like that, bro, that is not the result. That is not why this happened. I don't know a single person whose opinion was changed because he saw an Elon Musk tweet. Like, I know people that have voted right and left over the last bunch of years, all right? I know someone, he voted for Obama, he voted for Trump, he voted for Biden, then he voted for Trump again, okay? Like, I know somebody like that, and that person's opinion was not changed because of Elon Musk, all right? It was because the last 4 years were shit, all right? Prices went up, there are wars all over the world, the fucking media empire is cringe as balls, and no one hates the fake freaking lying douchebags that are making believe that Biden was actually a, you know, capable president. Kamala didn't do any speeches, whereas Trump was much more human. Like, I feel like there are so many regular, rational reasons that regular human beings could attribute to. And every single person that I hear talk about this, like in the political sphere, all talk about it with such high levels of cope. It's like, well, maybe it wasn't technically stolen, but because of all the Elon Musk misinformation, it was stolen. Well, maybe it wasn't technically stolen, but it just turns out 51% of the country hates women. Like, every single time, it's like, there's this one thing that literally changed the course of history. Instead of recognizing actual obvious blunders that have happened.
By the Democrats.
Let me remind you that an omelet with a slice of toast is $32 on DoorDash. And tell me that this shit's not crazy.
Again.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I'm sorry, but I totally disagree with Juan and Professor Lichtman.
There we go. Let's go. Let's go.
All
right, ready for the level-headed analysis?
Blame the voters. I think, look, we could get into this discussion, but Juan, I think you're blaming the voters. I think that's a terrible idea. And look, I debated Professor Lichtman before. I told him his theories about the keys were absurd. I was right. He was wrong.
I love how whenever I hear them talk about the keys, I think of like the old women in animated movies with like this pile of bones that we will consult the bones, and they like throw it into a pot and they're like, oh yes, you know, and they start predicting random shit. Well, honestly, I'm glad that this douche's face was wrong, because I really hate that shit, honestly. And I know it's obviously not voodoo, but it is funny.
I said he'd lose his keys.
No, you were
couldn't
not
find
right,
them before
and
the
I was
election.
not wrong. And
I was not wrong! Oh, meltdown time. I sense it. I sense it. My spider senses are tingling. My meltdown senses. I'm preparing.
It's a cheap shot, and I won't stand for it.
You were literally wrong, brother. You predicted it incorrectly. You were wrong.
Well, who won, brother?
You should not be taking cheap shots at me.
Why should you not take cheap shots at him? Bro, this is the internet. This is why we're here. The moment cheap shots end, I will retire from the internet. Bro, this is my job. Subscribe for more cheap shots.
Who won? You live total world of denial.
I read your own followers.
They're all crazy. Oh no, the descent into madness. And then, you know, fucking, what's his name? Oh my God. Dude, Pierce Morgan is just sitting on the side like, yes, yes.
Comments, and they all trashed you.
The comment sections are against you, Shank. You are cooked, my friend. Oh, I've seen a negative comment on your YouTube page, your own follower, to say something like that.
Every one of them, and supported me.
Yeah,
so
right,
with
right.
Your personal
yeah,
attacks.
come find out again.
Make whatever point you want.
Yeah, yeah.
Don't
Look,
make it personal.
You don't know.
Why is he threatening him? Bro's literally getting threatened by a 300-year-old man. Don't make it personal, or what? Or what? Bro, or what? You just called 51% of the country absolute idiots that voted for Trump because of Elon Musk tweets. This is insane. This is beautiful.
Know anything. You don't know anything.
You attacked me personally.
You're so deluded.
He just keeps going.
I've been a professor for 51 years.
On this
Listen, no one's doubting your professorness. We're just saying that your key thing is shit, because it was wrong, obviously.
I've never been able to finish a thought.
How many books have you published? No.
I published books. What about you? What about you? Oh my God, bro. I published bro, Trump published books. How does that make you feel, Professor? Bro, what's this guy's name? Who's this guy? I don't know his name. But anyway, brother, you know Trump published books too? By that logic, you and Trump are on the same level of education. How does that make you feel? You and the orange retard are literally hand in hand.
Because you're personally attacking me again.
He's pointing at him with all two of his fingers.
Say whatever you want, but I'm not going to stand for
brother,
personal
you got it wrong.
Dude, I will not stand for this. What are you going to do? Sit? Bro's 300 years old.
You're stupidly wrong. So, okay, all right. Can I just finish a goddamn thought?
These are children! They're children. Oh, I shouldn't be laughing at this old man's obvious mental breakdown. But I will anyway, because I am enjoying it immensely. Subscribe for more moral bullying on this channel. We only condone ethical bullying, not unethical bullying.
Ever.
Bro's pulling out the 40K lingo.
On this show.
No, not if you're personally I admitted I was wrong. I don't need you to call me stupid.
Okay.
Can I just say it's because Emma's all getting along so well.
Oh, no! I knew he would be fucking gloating at this shit. I knew he'd like it. Is it just me or has his skin become more orange since the election? But anyway, this dude is literally loving it. Oh my God. Can we ever have like a conversation between a bunch of leftists without them just at each other's throats? Like, can you explain this to me? We need Hassan, Vosh, and Destiny to all come together and react to horse porn. That's my opinion.
It's lovely to see a post-election harmony as you all come together again.
We're just one right now. Hey, Alan, you deserve a tall glass of shut-up juice, so can you just shut up for a second?
Where does he come up with this shit? They're literally fighting over nothing. That's the funniest part. Horse porn? Oh yeah, horse porn, because Vosh is a big leftist streamer that accidentally leaked his entire folder of horse porn. It was pretty good. But anyway, bro crashed out because he was called stupid. I love how this dude's career is literally over, all because of Trump, who published books, by the way. So therefore, he's more educated than, you know, me.
And let someone who knows what they're doing.
So right.
God damn!
You're so right.
I love he's crossing his arms. He's like, no.
I will not sit here and stand for personal attacks.
So leave and shut up!
For blasphemy against...
Blasphemy against me. Who does this guy think he is? God too? What the fuck? Have you ever heard someone say, dude, I have to use that. You committed blasphemy against me. It is I, God too. Politics. These are educated, well-rounded, mild-mannered, accepting, tolerant people that we should all look up to in our daily lives.
You don't need to do that. You don't boost
blasphemy against.
It took him a second.
Who are you? Are you Jesus Christ, you loser? Okay,
make your point.
Oh no! Oh, crusade against the heathens, brothers. Gather together, my brothers.
Just give the correct answer.
Dude, I love how everyone is so mad. This guy's I'm enjoying it, honestly. This is awesome.
For once. Okay, here we go. So, guys, you're blaming disinformation. There was disinformation. There was the cats and the dogs nonsense.
They're eating the cats, they're eating the dogs. I feel like that statement was worse for Trump than it was against Trump. It's true that was disinformation, but because Trump fell for the disinformation, I feel like it definitely made him look way worse. I think that clip made him lose the debate against Kamala. So, to be honest, ultimately, yeah, that was disinformation, but it literally went against Republicans.
The point
like at the end of the day
you're making about undocumented immigrants, I agree with Alan, okay? But that didn't cost the election. The main disinformation was about how the election was going to be rigged.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That was major disinformation. And homie, it came from the mainstream media, brother. All right? I don't mean to commit blasphemy against you, but you dumbass.
And it wasn't rigged.
I've read comments, and the comments are against you.
It was dumb. They won easily. There was no need for that disinformation. You guys are missing the whole point. The people who are at fault are not other people. It is the candidate, Kamala Harris. The previous candidate.
I mean, honestly, he's not wrong. Kamala Harris was an awful candidate. I mean, I would blame the campaign too, but I would also blame just the status of the world over the last 4 years.
Joe Biden, Democratic Party, Democratic leadership. You guys don't want to admit that they're the problem. They're the cancer in the Democratic Party. So you blindly lash out at...
I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of cancer in all the parties. But this is very fun. I am enjoying this.
The voters, at information, at social media, and you want to shut down anyone who disagrees with you. That's not the correct answer. There are three wings of the Democratic Party. There's the establishment wing that the...
Cringe! Oh, dude, that is a beautiful thumbnail face. Holy shit. Oh, yes. Oh, that's what I'm talking about.
Great majority, almost everyone on television supports and kisses the ass of and does propaganda
Cringe.
for. That wing has led to disaster.
100% accurate. The fucking mainstream media machine wing, that shit's garbage.
They lost to Donald Trump twice, nearly lost to him 3 times. And then the other wing is called the progressive wing, but those are two different sets of people. In the progressive, so-called progressive wing, what you have is the identitarian left, the people who do what the right wing would call woke politics and identity politics, and that is disastrous. That's what the trans ad was at the end, and it cost us. The most popular part of the Democratic Party is the populist left. That is the Bernie Sanders 2016 campaign.
Honestly, that is probably the best of these, the best as far as like the chances go for these guys is to go with that populist left. Because right now, no one likes the media machine. No one likes the propaganda fucking bullshit. No one wants the shit and the lies and the cringe. And also, no one wants the woke extremists, like the people that go all the way to the absolute ends of that discussion, like complete and utter, like, insanity. It's like to the point of accepting obvious things that any normal human would be against, like you know, people walking around in grocery stores with their balls hanging out. I think that was a fun one. And I feel like a lot of people see that and are like, well, this is completely irrational, right? That's when you know, the woman trans sports shit debate comes up, which, as you know my opinion on it, I believe in gender neutral sports. Completely gut the sports system. Let it all be completely and utterly neutral. Neutral sports, where they all come together and obliterate each other. No genders anymore. Annihilate that shit. I think that would be great. Yes. And if no women end up on the basketball teams, well then honestly, that's just get good is what I'm trying to say. But anyway, no genders and all the drugs. Yes, that is the ideal Nux sports league. All chaos sports. Oh, fuck yeah. Fuck yes. But anywho, no one wants my opinion on that, so I'll just, I'll stick to the things that people can accept. So I think he's right. I think he's right in his, like, breakdown here. Like, there's the identity politics extremist people, which I don't think are palatable for, like, I guess the vast majority of humans. And then you got the establishment machine, which is what lost this time. That is exactly what lost right now. The fucking establishment machine, the fake bullshit, the celebrity endorsement crap, like that's what happened now, all right? And vilifying Trump and all that shit. And I think he's right. There is a populist party, part of the party, and that is what's gonna need a shine in the future.
That part says, let's do super popular economic proposals like paid family leave, higher minimum wage, universal health care, public option. Let's do all of these things. And the establishment goes, no, our corporations don't want that. Our donors don't want that. So we'll just do identity politics. And maybe identity politics will unite the left. But it didn't. Identity politics led to disaster. It was a poison within the Democratic Party, used, ironically, by the establishment Democrats because they didn't want to talk about popular proposals that we have because their donors hate those proposals.
Okay.
Honestly, man spitting. I think he's right. I think he's pretty much right. I think the one thing he's not including is the fact that there is obvious bullshit on the left as well. He's making it sound like the left is dope in 100% ways, and it was just the messaging that was wrong. But in actuality, there's bullshit everywhere, and I think we've lived through that.
Okay, let me bring in Harry. Now, Harry, you tweeted or posted on X on November the 6th. Kamala Harris's speech was amazing. Graceful, strong, hit the right tone. She's a fantastic leader and a great role model. No idea how she lost to Trump.
No. Oh my God, do I have to listen to them debating the fucking Kamala speech? Oh no.
You're a bright young guy, Harry. I've interviewed you several times. You know why she lost. And that speech, in a way, to me, was the perfect illustration. She basically said nothing. She talked about billions of stars and the moonlight and shite. There was nothing there. There was no meat on the bone, no substance. And that was her problem throughout the whole campaign. She had 100 days to show America, here's how I'm going to fix all your problems. Instead, she did the Hillary Clinton playbook. After promising us joy and sunshine, immediately pivoted to Trump's a Nazi, they're all fascists, they're all disgusting. And by the way, here are all my rich, famous entertainment friends who are all going to surround themselves on me on stages.
Yeah, I'm not gonna sit through them trying to defend that fucking speech. I feel like that's just a waste of my time. Oh, there's a little no one cares about celebrity endorsements. That's nice.
Here, let me give you one example. If Democrats, for example, passed Build Back Better, the original Build Back Better that Biden and Bernie were trying to get through, that included paid family leave, childcare, universal pre-K, free community college, expanding Medicare, higher minimum wage, lowering all prescription drug prices, expanded child tax credit. If you got that through, I think this election very well may have been different and Democrats would have won. And I don't think dragging out, Taylor Swift or Beyonce or whoever else is going to make much of a difference because people like them for what they like them for.
Yeah, they like them for reading lines written by smarter people. And that's exactly what they did.
They like them for the singing. They like them for the dances. They don't really want to hear their thoughts on the marginal tax rate.
Yeah, I mean, 100%. I definitely agree.
I want to bring Nina back in.
I agree with Kyle on that, and I want to say, Jane, thank you for that presidential endorsement. Who knows what 2028 will hold? But they overplayed their hand with celebrities. It's not that you don't want celebrities, but celebrities motivate the base that you already have.
Celebrities are worthless. Thank you for my opinion.
What this campaign did is they put too much stock in those celebrities. Those celebrities, just like my colleagues on this panel, just like myself, they only have one vote to give. Yes, they have influence, but you know who could have been a better influence on that race? Is everyday working class people standing by her side. Everyday working class people talking about how under the Harris-Walz presidency, things would be different for them.
I think that's delusional. I don't think seeing a random guy say something that was probably paid for by the campaign is actually going to help anyone. Like, you have to recognize, like, the level of stupidity here as well. Okay? When I see a celebrity endorsement, I feel like it's paid for and it's done for personal gain. Like, this person has no fucking idea what he's talking about. Like, why on earth would I even give a remote, slight shit about what a celebrity had to say? Right? No, duh. Like, that has got to be the most obvious bullshit ever. Like, I get what she's saying, that I care about the opinion of the average American citizen more than I care about a celebrity. But, dog, why would I not assume that the citizen who I have no idea who they are, who has no, like, accountability for if they were paid off, why would I assume that they weren't paid off to say that shit? I love how everyone's dancing around the incredibly obvious topic. You know what's worth more than a celebrity backing? Going on the Joe Rogan podcast. I don't even like the Joe Rogan podcast. I've probably only listened to less than 5 Joe Rogan podcasts in my entire life. But that is the place to go. It's where you can have a long-form conversation and your actual humanity and opinion can be put out there. Why is everyone dancing around the obvious? Endorsements are only worth as much as how much trust you have in the media that's promoting those endorsements. And I have none. Sorry for being a cynic.
That the minimum wage will be increased, et cetera, et cetera. That did not happen. So although Taylor Swift is popular, obviously she's not that popular because she absolutely did not move the needle.
And she lost her Coke brand deal off that shit.
And this is no shade to her. It is just celebrities are good for the base. They are not.
They're worthless. They are worth nothing. And their opinions should not be validated at all. And it's glorious to see it blow up in their face. And next election, I have a feeling we're going to see a lot less celebrity endorsements because all these people, they lost their credibility. No one fucking appreciated it. None of their opinions were actually worth anything. People aren't going to be spending millions to get these Taylor Swift people to fucking go and say shit. And it's glorious. It's lovely to live in a timeline where finally the mainstream public faces of the country that are ultimately empty inside are not having any power.
Necessarily good to move those undecided voters.
I mean, the other thing
they did it too.
The other thing I would say,
it's the way they did it.
Yeah,
it was a very elitist way. You know, it was the way they did it.
No, I agree with you.
Avengers assemble. Kamala forever.
There's a different issue which Trump's nominee picks for the cabinet. I think I see a consistent pattern here. The one running theme of all of them is they're all good on television. Trump understands the power of television like no political candidate I've ever seen.
True.
He absolutely gets it because he's a TV guy. I did his Celebrity Apprentice show. I saw him at first hand. He loves the camera loves him, and he's great at the power of television. If you look at RFK Jr., you look at Tulsi Gabbard, you look at Marco Rubio, you look at even Matt Gaetz, look at all these people. What's the common theme? They're all good talkers, and they're good on telly.
Qualified.
Whereas if I think, but of course, everyone can have their...
No one's willing to accept the reality. It's crazy. Listen, you can hate all these people. I don't know any of these people, okay? I'm not some political guy. I'm just here for the meltdowns, all right? I'm literally here for the entertainment. If the world is going to burn around me, I might as well have a good time while it's happening, okay? But, bro, you can all have your opinions all you want, but they are so much more successful than these people. Like, it's incredible.
View about politics, but they are good performers on television. If I try and think of a lot of Democrats,
what the fuck did you just say? Allegations. Yeah, I'm just gonna put that out there. Allegations, guys. It's over. That's awesome. Wasn't this guy paid to promote Harris?
In that camp, who are good at articulating policy on television, I start to really struggle. I do. I think it's important.
But why are we giving Trump credit for optics right now, Piers? Piers, the thing about all of his picks is that they're virulent neocons. He picked Mike Huckabee, who's an end times fundamentalist Christian, to be ambassador to Israel. This guy thinks the rapture is going to happen and Jesus is going to come back in his lifetime.
You know why he picked
Brian
him?
Hook.
You know why
for
he picked
State
him?
Department.
He picked him because
Trump's a neocon. That's why he picked him.
He picked him.
He picked him because he won. Oh no, we're so cooked. He picked him because he won. If he wouldn't have won, he wouldn't have been able to pick him. You realize that you literally gave him the keys to the kingdom. Speaking of the 13 keys, but you gave him the keys to the kingdom. I'm just saying.
Because he can. Because he has such a thumping mandate on November the 5th. But
do you criticize that? Do you criticize that though? Are you against the neocons?
I don't think it's any surprise. It's no. Well, it may
he
be
does
a surprise.
not have a mandate.
It may
this
be
is the
a
craziest talking point I've heard.
Well, hang on. Hang on. My point is the Democrats had such a terrible campaign with a terrible candidate. You reap what you sow. You know, you've allowed Trump to do what he wants. So I'm afraid.
Do you criticize his neocon picks?
Do
you criticize?
This is not the point of the discussion. Like, dude, I don't like Trump as a person. Absolutely. I don't even know what a neocon freaking is, bro. What's a neocon? Educational content. All right. Neoconservatism is a political movement began in the United 1960s and became disenchanted with it. Okay, what the fuck do they do? I don't give a shit about where it came from. So basically, a neocon is a thing that people call other people to sound smart when in actuality it doesn't mean anything. That's my opinion. My incredibly educated opinion. Again, I'm not sitting here supporting anybody. I'm just laughing at people that do not recognize reality in front of them. I'm a simple man.
Here's what I think. It doesn't matter what I think, because the truth is...
It does, yes,
Trump,
it does.
Trump was very pro-Israel the first time round. He was always going to be very pro-Israel this time round. And you guys have allowed him to win with a thumping mandate.
I mean, that is the point. That is the point. Putting names on him and labels and shit does not matter. And his victory is purely in the honor of the loss of his opponents. I mean, man, it's spitting.
So the real point of this
panel... He does not have a thumping mandate.
The real point of this blue on blue
press
for you to show some self-awareness that you've allowed all this to happen. I mean, Nina, I want to come back to you just briefly.
What self-awareness? He is picking neocons. Are you going to criticize
He's picking them because he's allowed to.
Or not?
He can pick
He's
them.
allowed to, but are you against it? Are you against it?
I'm against some of it, yeah.
You have nothing but criticism for Democrats, and you have no smoke for Trump, apparently.
Listen,
I feel like everyone is missing the entire point of the conversation right now. This is not glazing Trump. This is not glazing the people that Trump picked. This is saying that the reason why Trump is able to make these choices is because of the absolute failure that happened on the left this election. And again, I feel like that's obvious, but anywho, I have no patience for more of the discussion. Thank you so much for being here. I was here for the meltdowns. That's what I was here for. Yeah, I wanted more of this. Can we get more of this, please?
Find out again.
Make whatever point you want.
Yeah.
Don't make it personal.
You don't know anything.
Yeah, that's what I'm here for. I'm a simple man. A very simple man. So definitely subscribe for more meltdowns and subscribe for more incredibly sexy sneezes in the next video. Stay weird, fam. Like, subscribe, and this video was streamed live on kick.com/Nuxanor. See you there. Stay weird, fam.